What's going on, guys? We are back with another shop day vlog. As you can see, we have the car here. It's pretty much been sitting since we raced 2 weeks ago, I think. Anywho, we were going to go run Cherokee Saturday and it ended up raining out. So this week we are actually planning on going to Carolina Speedway on Friday night. Again, there is the threat of rain that night. Of course, it's the nights that I want to go and not any other night. But we're not going to let that get us down. We are actually going to go ahead and check everything again on the car. There's a couple of things I do want to take a look at. Everything was fine. We haven't tested the car since we made our mesh here in the other video to help it with the cooling issue, so I don't know how that's going to work until we get to the track. But basically today is just a make sure nothing has fallen off the car and make sure we have fluids kind of day. So the first thing I always like to do is just walk around the car and make sure that there is no obvious problems with leaks or anything like that, or even parts laying on the ground, or bolts, which actually has happened before. So I'm going to do a quick little walk around and make sure I don't see anything major wrong with the car. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that, but all of this blue here is left over from where I cut the hole in the nose. That stuff is everywhere. I always do check right under the engine. It's kind of hard to see down there, but I don't see any fluids anywhere. So I think we're good. I don't think we developed any surprise leaks. The intake and everything was fairly clean, so there wasn't no fuel pooling on there from the carburetor. So I think we're pretty good. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check all the fluids, the radiator and the power steering. We don't have a way to check our engine oil because we don't have a dipstick in the car, but I'm going to take a look at those two fluids. I'm going to try to get one more race off of the oil that's in the motor now because it's only really got one race on it. So I am going to wait until the next race to change the oil, and then we'll see what the oil looks like when it comes out of the car after the second race. The next thing I'm going to do is take this air filter off and get the filter part out. I'm going to clean it and re-oil it so that way it's ready to go for this weekend. Always make sure you cap your carburetor because you don't want any debris or other mysterious fluids ending up in your carburetor and down in your engine. So the next thing I'm going to check is going to be all my wiring for my distributor. So all the plug wires and the two wires here, well technically three, that go up into this, because if you guys remember, this is actually what was causing the problem with our skipping in the motor, which caused us not to be able to run twice. So I'm going to double check all this, check the spark plug wires, make sure none of them are getting burnt on the headers, and go from there. Now that all my wiring is good and okay, obviously there wasn't any issues, but everything was fine. So now I'm actually going to put a wrench on all the bolts on the motor and make sure everything is good and tight. So I'm actually editing the video right there, and it turns out when I was checking all of my suspension stuff, I actually forgot to hit record on the camera because I was actually talking to my dad who was down there today, and it totally slipped my mind. I actually had the camera set up in position, but I actually never hit the record button, so I'm real sorry. But I mean, really all you would have seen is me just putting a wrench on things. Basically I went to the front and worked my way all the way back on the car. So yeah, sorry guys, I didn't film it. That's my bad. Sorry. Brain just kind of, so yeah. So I just got done checking everything on this side and the drive shaft, so now I'm going to move to the other side. So I just finished up in the shop. Now I'm at the house. I have to work on my schedule and send that to my sponsors again because my work schedule changed. So I'm going to go do that real quick. Okay guys, we are back. I just filmed a segment a second ago. It was basically my outro, but me talking a little bit, and a little bit turned into like 11 minutes. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to basically summarize everything I just said. So the car is done. The car is ready for the racetrack. I may take a couple more measurements just to make sure everything's where it needs to be as far as setup goes. And we are planning on running Carolina this Friday, and that's actually pretty significant for me because about it'd be 3 years ago, I had a pretty serious crash at Carolina Speedway, and in summary, it cost me a lot of money to fix the car, and I actually got hurt from that wreck, and it took me a little while to fully recover. And ever since then, I haven't really been as competitive as I could have been, just solely because that was always in the back of my mind. Like, I didn't want to tear up my car, I didn't want to, get hurt again, obviously, but I'm trying to overcome that, and that's why I want to go run Carolina a little bit more, because I really do like that track. I love the staff there. There's a bunch of cars about every week. Great fans are there as well, and it's actually closer to us than Cherokee Speedway. So I'm going to be trying to put everything that has happened to me at that track in the back of my head, because I know I shouldn't let it affect me, but it did. And when I got hurt, I kind of questioned driving there, and I was never really excited going back, because every time I went back to Carolina, I had issues with it. Like, I just wasn't all the way there. But that's going to change. I'm going to pretty much, I guess how you would say, man up and just drive as hard as I can in Carolina. If I wreck, I wreck. If I tear it up, I tear it up. It is what it is. We have the technology to fix it. So I shouldn't have let it affect me for so long, but it did nonetheless. So this year we're going to fix that. And again, when I wrecked, it was all me. Nobody caused that wreck. It was my own stupid decision that I made. But I have learned from it, and I have moved on from it, more or less. I'm still hesitant about going to Carolina, but I'm going to try to get that out of my head and just get back to where I was before that wreck. So yeah, that's kind of my game plan. So anyways, I've got the schedule updated now. It's still kind of up in the air because I don't know if my shifts are going to change again. It's very well possible they may or may not. I don't know. I won't know anything until I get the phone call. But we are planning on Carolina this Friday. If Carolina does get rained out, we will be at Cherokee on Saturday for the makeup for the Bill Hendren Memorial. And I'm happy with either one of those days, really, honestly and truly, because I think the Bill Hendren Memorial will actually be a really, really cool race. So anywho, I'm going to leave this video here. I have to go get a shower, and I have to do a couple other things today. I wanted to get a video out just so you guys knew I wasn't dead. I'm still here making videos and whatnot. We are in the process of shooting our 100 subscriber special, because holy crap, we gained so many subscribers so quickly, which is great. That's amazing. So we're actually shooting part of that right now, so that way when we hit 100, it'll be ready to go for you guys to watch it. So anyways, we really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys, and as always, we will see you in the next video.